Welcome, everybody, to the Mullins Over Music Podcast, episode 47. We're getting close to that episode 50. But let's talk about this one. We have Gracie from Moonstone on this episode, and we had such a wonderful time chatting. I know you guys will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. So, in order not to spoil things too much, why don't you just go ahead and have yourself a listen? Welcome, everyone, to the Mullins Over Music Podcast. I'm your host until the robots take over, Austin. And I have a special guest with me today, and they're going to introduce themselves so you can put a voice to a name. And that's for all you audio podcast listeners.
Mhm.
Losers. No, I'm just kidding. We love you too. So go ahead.
I'm Gracie. I sing in a band called Moonstone. Moonstone consists of me, Gracie, Lucas, our lead guitarist, Ramses, our rhythm guitarist, Sharice is our bassist, and Connor's our drummer.
Heck yeah. Well, we always start the podcast off with two questions. The first one is the fun fact question. Give me a fun fact about yourself. You prepped your whole life for this. I told you right before we came on, so you had all of a good minute to figure something out. Let me hear
Okay.
it.
Okay, this is a super weird one. I have never been able to burp. That's
Interesting.
my fun fact. Yeah, I don't burp. I'm very envious of people who do. I mean, majority of people do. And even when I was a kid, I would like slam sodas and try to burp, and I couldn't. So I don't know what that's about, but that's my fun fact.
That is a fun fact. That's not a weird fun fact.
Yeah, I don't know. When I
I've
tell
had
people
weirder.
that, they're like, "What?"
It's okay. It's not the weirdest one I've gotten.
Okay, good.
Well, of course, our second question is always going to be the fun question. Uh, or interesting question. Used to call it funny question. I'm not vibing with that name anymore. So they end up being more thought provoking than funny. But
Cool.
this one's gonna be from medium.com because I can't come up with my own funny questions. Uh if you could wake up tomorrow with any new skill or quality, what would it be and why?
Oh man, new skill or quality. I I would cook better. Like I would be like an amazing chef, I guess. I don't cook that much. I have a few staples. Like I can feed myself to
Yeah.
get by, to survive. Um, but I'm not like super intuitive when it comes to cooking. So I guess I wish I was a better cook. Like I wish I was like a Michelin star chef. That would be really cool.
That would be really cool. And then you could monetize that too.
Yeah, right? Like a social media chef. And I love cooking shows. Like I watch like all of Gordon Ramsay's content.
Yep.
I love. It's so good. I've been watching what is it called? Great British Bake Show or
Yeah.
excuse me if I'm
On
wrong. But
Netflix.
yes, I literally just started that last week while I was sick. So that's really good. I love Chopped. So
Yes.
I love food. I love food and I love cooking shows. I'm just not super great at it. And I guess I just need to practice more, but again, I just don't have like the intuition in the kitchen. So, yeah.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
Respectable answer.
Yeah.
And Chopped is fantastic.
It's so good. I love it.
I still try to throw on an episode every once in a while just to remind myself. I'm like, you could have done this. What's the matter with you?
Yeah,
Well,
it's like easy to watch too, to just have
yeah.
on in the background. I love it.
Try to start watching the Holiday Baking Championship on Food
Hmm.
Network. Um, 2 episodes in, and I was just like, no, this is not.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
get
you
it.
you
guys did it wrong. You aren't supposed to do it like that.
Yeah. I love Next Level Chef is really good. That's
That
with
is a good
Gordon
one.
Ramsay. I love it. And I like that they have, like social media chefs and then like actual like trained chefs compete against each other and then like home chefs. And it's cool to see, a lot of these social media chefs are actually as good as like, the chefs that went through culinary school. It's really cool.
I mean, just thinking of Tinica or Teeny, the
Teeny,
social
yeah.
media chef.
I love her.
She went to culinary school and
Yeah,
she's a social media chef and she's so good.
she is so good. And her
I was so
content's
upset when she
great.
didn't win.
I know, no, same. And she was voted off or, pretty early too, for the most part. Um, yeah, I love her. Love Teeny.
Yeah, still watch her content.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's get into the heart and soul of the
Yeah.
podcast, the music questions. Let's start with your origin story. So think of this as your superhero music origin story. Go far back as far as you want. Bring us up to speed to where you are today.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm currently in Texas. That's where the band's based out of. I was actually born here in Texas. My parents were really young when they had me, which kind of benefited me in a way because my mom was really into music and made sure that we were, submersed in popular music at the time, that I was born, of course, but then earlier on when I could actually, or later on when I could actually like listen to music and was developing a personality and opinions and stuff like that. So, um, she always made sure to like sit both me and my sister down and we would like watch music videos together, which was really cool. Um, and her being young and a young mom in the 90s, a lot of that was like brunch, which was really cool. I think that shaped my tastes now, and my love for rock music and alternative music. um so yeah, she always kind of, just made sure that we were always listening to music or we had an appreciation for art. I read a lot growing up. We were also homeschooled, and so that kind of allowed us to really dial into our special interests, and mine has always been music. Um, I started playing piano really young. I never took lessons or anything like that, but it was just more kind of like self taught and just experimenting on the piano. And then when I turned 13, I believe I was, my parents surprised me with a bass. So that was kind of my first instrument that I really, really, really fell in love with. Um, and throughout high school, I played bass in bands and would play covers and stuff like that. I was really into Tumblr, so I would post videos on Tumblr of me playing bass covers. Um,
Not
and
Tumblr.
I ended up, gaining a lot of friends who were also into music. And like I said, we would like form little bands. And then when I was around 16, I just randomly decided that I wanted to start singing. So I started doing that. Again, I was self-taught. I definitely did not go through any formal training or anything like that. So I started singing for bands here in Texas, and I haven't stopped since then. I haven't stopped singing in bands, and I took a little break from performing and being in bands. And then I got back into it and started Moonstone. And like I said, I've just been kind of singing since then, since I was like 16. So yeah, I've been in and out of bands like since I was 13, like I mentioned. And now I teach music professionally, so I'm always working with music. So yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that.
I love it. I mean, I feel really grateful. I feel like a job is a job.
Yeah, of course.
But there are days that I wake up and I'm like, this is really cool. Like I can work, we basically work on Moonstone full time. I mean, that's like a
Yeah.
job in and of itself. But the fact that my 9 to 5 can also be, I can be immersed in music literally from when I wake up until I go to sleep. Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about Moonstone a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you meet everyone? How did it come to be? Let's bring it from superhero origin to like Avengers style team up movie.
Yeah. Okay. So Lucas, our lead guitarist, is actually my husband.
Okay.
So he has been in and out of bands his whole life as well. He was originally a vocalist, and since we got together, he developed a home studio and would record bands, and then um, had his own side projects as well that he was singing for. And he asked me for a long time, like, when can we start a project? When are we gonna write and record? And what are we doing? And I just never felt ready fully. I was really scared, to be honest, because I feel like it's a lot to put yourself out there as a front person. It's
Yeah.
just to be a mouthpiece for a project. Um, on a social level, it can be kind of scary, and I'm a pretty introverted person. So yeah, that was always scary for me, and I just wasn't ready at that point.
Yeah.
So again, he was in and out of bands. Ramses, I've known since 2016. I was singing for a band. He was playing rhythm guitar for another band, and we would always like play together, like play shows together, on the same bill here in Dallas. And we were just kind of all in one big friend group. And we kind of lost touch over the years until 2022. He had a solo project, and he came to record at our home studio with Lucas. And he and a friend, I guess we're a mutual friend, were talking, and he was like, hey, we should start a Paramore cover band, and Gracie should sing. So like she doesn't have to fully commit to being like the social, mouthpiece for a band, but it'll be a cool side project, and we'll all get to perform together, but we don't have to write. There's not as many like commitments to it,
Yeah.
We're just gonna perform and have fun. And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we practiced a couple times together, me, Lucas, and Ramses, and two of our other friends. And we ended up getting tickets to see Paramore in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And we were going to go for Lucas and I's wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Well, 2 days before the show, they canceled, and they said
Okay.
that someone on their team contracted COVID and they had to cancel that day. It'll be refunded, whatever. So we were pretty bummed because we were like, well, we all love Paramore. That stinks. But then also, like, our anniversary plans are kind of ruined last minute. So I posted on Facebook and I was like, we need last minute anniversary plans. What should we do? And someone commented and said, hey, I have two weekend passes to Austin City Limits. You can have them for free, and Paramore's headlining
That's
Austin City Limits.
awesome.
So I was like, that's crazy. Very full circle. So we ended up going. We had an amazing time. That was the first music festival I had ever been to of that capacity. And I left feeling very inspired. Like I knew that I wanted to do something on a bigger level, and capture the energy that these artists were giving off while they were performing, even like a small little crumb of it. So we drove back to Dallas. I told Lucas, I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's start writing originals. Let's start performing as an original band. We told Ramses, and we started Moonstone. And then later on, we added Connor. Connor, our drummer, is a childhood friend of Lucas's, and he's a phenomenal drummer. He's more into metal, so he's like a tech death drummer. So it was kind of funny to bring
Hell
him
yeah.
on. Yeah. So it's really cool though because he's a very very precise, intricate drummer, and we honestly weren't sure how it was going to work, but it works perfectly now. Like he has really um I don't know, just opened up his tastes and started listening to like more music outside of metal, but like he fuses that, alternative pop with his really technical, precise playing style. So it just like works perfectly.
Oh yeah.
And then we had another bassist at one point, my really good friend Sophie, and she ended up leaving for personal issues. And we held auditions for a bassist last February. And Charisse was the first person to audition out of like 50 people. And I immediately knew that I wanted her. She was just amazing. She's super, super cool, sweet person. She does backing vocals as well, but she's a phenomenal bassist. She's like such a badass. So it's just really everything has fallen so perfectly into place.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your EP.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Cool.
You know what? Let's start it like this. Take me through the writing process. How does it go from up in here, up in the head, out into full song form? And then we can talk about how the EP came to be.
Cool. Well, the EP, to be honest, was completely different from our writing now, our writing style now.
Yeah.
The EP was kind of just a big experiment because I had only ever been in post-hardcore, more like hard rock bands. And the same goes for Lucas and Ramses because we were kind of, back then the core of the band. Like the three of us wanted to do all of the writing before we added on Connor and then later Charisse. So it was a big experiment. Like honestly, we had no idea what we were doing with the EP. So the writing process for that was definitely a lot more difficult. It took us a long time to really develop our sound. And I feel like when we got it, we were like, okay, that's it. And it was a really nice template for what we have now. So now I feel like it's a little bit easier. We have, like I said, a template. We know what we're going for. We have really, really specific elements in our songs that we use continuously on our releases now.
Yeah.
But because we record everything in our home studio, a lot of times it's just Lucas saying, hey, I have this idea. And then he puts it down. He'll write like some demoed drums and bass just to kind of get an idea of a song. He'll send it to everyone. And if, we're all vibing with it, I'll write lyrics to it and write vocals to it and then demo those out. And then we kind of all come in to record the final. But typically, it is Lucas that's like, here's my idea. Does everyone like it? And we kind of build on that. So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
He starts the thread and then you guys
Yes.
weave it all in. I like
Exactly. And it's nice that way. I feel like I'm sure I know that some people can get together and kind of jam until they have a song. But it is really nice when you have something to base it off of and kind of a template to start with. And then, you can add, your own taste and style to it after that. So that's how we work at least. And it's helped a lot.
it. Okay. Well, from recording to the stage, let's talk about that a little bit. Or
Yeah.
more specifically, let's talk about you guys opening up for the Used in
Oh
October
my gosh.
this past year. How was that? Tell
It
us
was
about it. Tell us about it.
it was amazing. Like honestly, when we got the offer, a Live Nation rep sent us a message on Instagram, and I was like, this has to be fake. This cannot be real. And I immediately screenshotted it because it went to like our requested inbox and sent it to the rest of the band. And I was shaking, like I was on the verge of tears because like that's Lucas's favorite band. Obviously, I grew up listening to them. So did Ram. Like it was just very surreal to even get that message. And it was it was grueling to wait because, they tell you like, hey, you're opening for the used
Yeah.
maybe 4 months before you actually play, and you have to go a
Wait.
really long time without saying anything. So we were, oh my gosh, we had to be very patient, and there were some points where we were like, is this even going to happen? Like, is someone pranking us? Like, yeah. So it was a little grueling. But no, we played it. It was amazing. It was at House of Blues Dallas. Honestly, opening up for the used was amazing, but it just being at House of Blues was really, really cool as well, because that was a bucket list, venue for all of us.
Yeah.
The staff was so accommodating. It's a super old building, so it was cool to have there's like a freight elevator that takes you to the stage. And then the secondary, there's like green rooms everywhere in House of Blues, but our green room like overlooked the stage, so we could actually sit in the green room and watch the used play and sound check, and that was insane.
That's awesome.
And they were just like, their fans are so diehard, and they were so just warm and welcoming to us. I think that was the scariest part, was like, will people even like us? Like, how are we going to be received? And they were so sweet. I mean, we came outside afterwards, after they finished their set, the used, and they had a bunch of like hardcore fans outside that were waiting for them to come out. But when we came out, they were like super excited to talk to us, and we sat there for maybe like 2 hours just talking to people, like their fans. And they had so many stories about seeing the used, and I don't know, it was just all around an amazing experience. Their fans and their team and House of Blues, it was just great.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on a little bit from that to this is going to be a fun question. Well, it's always a fun question for me. It's always a grueling one for the artist. What is your favorite song you've written so far? That you've released. We'll keep it to that. And your least favorite and
Oh
why?
man.
Doesn't mean you hate it, but in a ranking system, there's got to be a top and there's got to be a bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I think, oh my gosh, all of our songs are like my babies. Like, I feel like I am a mother to all of these little babies. It always changes. I think my favorite since we released the album is Conversations.
Okay.
I really love that song. If I weren't in the band, I would listen to that song on repeat, and I think that's always a big goal of mine, is that I obviously, emotionally connect to the song, but I can imagine myself listening to it all the time. So I think Conversations, I'm gonna say that for my favorite.
I like it.
And my least favorite, and I feel bad even mentioning this because again, it's like it's still my baby. Our very first song ever is called Still Want More. And that was the title of our EP as well. That was the very first song we wrote as, me, Lucas, and Ramses as a band. And again, we just didn't know what we were doing, what we were going for at the time. I still love this song. Like, it's so catchy. It's fun, like it's dancey. But I guess I'll say that as my least favorite, just because like we don't even play it live anymore. It's so old. But again, like we just
Not
didn't really
that
know.
old. It's
It's not that old,
2023.
no. But it feels old with everything else we've done since then, I guess.
That's very true.
So, yeah, I'll say that's my least favorite, but it's still my baby. I still love it. Um, I just think we've grown a lot since then.
Yes, you have. See, I listen to the entire discography before an artist comes on.
Uh-huh.
90% of the time. I might
Nice.
miss a couple. But yeah, you guys have definitely evolved since the EP.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that because yeah, I mean, it's Moonstone is very DIY. Like everything is just us. We manage it, we record, we produce, we write, you know, we even like use our friends for media, like for photography, and we're blessed to have a lot of friends in our community who are like extremely talented, photographers and videographers and everything else, but it is very DIY. So it's been cool to grow as an individual through writing and recording, because I feel like we're just getting better with each release, as
Absolutely.
individuals, not even just as a band.
I mean, that's what you strive for.
Yeah.
You always want to constantly evolve, even though I know some people who listen to music might not think so. Some people are like their old stuff better. Well, you
Yeah.
need to shut up.
And I have definitely said that about some artists as well, because you just get, and I'm guilty of this even with our music, where I'm like, I don't push myself because I'm so used to one thing, right? Like I'm a pretty stubborn person.
Yeah.
So it's actually Lucas, my husband, who's like, let's experiment more. Like, let's like experiment with your voice more. Like, just really push yourself. And so I'm grateful for that too, to have bandmates who like want me to better myself, but then we also better each other, because we're genuinely all really good friends. And so even outside of music, I think we're all doing things for each other for the betterment of each other socially and musically and artistically. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful to have them.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, let's talk about influences because that's always fun to hear.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of your top influences for you vocally, maybe a few for the band, and
Okay.
they don't have to all be music related. They can be
Okay.
non-music related influences.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely grew up in the kind of emo Tumblr era, kind of coming off of MySpace into Tumblr, that kind of era. So my favorite band of all time will always be My Chemical Romance. I love them. Um, Not even from a musical standpoint, but just the art that goes behind all of their albums. I mean, they're so thought out, and there's a story with everything, and everything's connected to each other. Like I love stuff like that. I love concept albums. Um, and they're all just like really amazing artists, and they seem like really great people. And we got to see them this past year. I think it was in September we saw
I
them,
was
I
gonna
think.
ask about that.
It was amazing. It was the best. I've now seen them twice. I saw them at their reunion show as well. Um, this was the best concert I have ever been to. It was so theatrical, and again, just like the little details in the story. It was like watching a play. It was insane. So love them so much. Personally, another influence, I love Smashing Pumpkins. They're also a huge influence for me as far as um, lyrics and even especially instrumentals. I love their instrumentals. It's so good.
Good
And
old Billy
then
Corgan.
yeah, I mean he's amazing.
Very
Um,
bald.
yeah. Obviously Paramore, I grew up on Paramore. I think
No way. I'm just
again,
kidding.
I know. Again, not even from a musical standpoint, but just Haley Williams as an individual and as an icon. I love everything that she stands for, and I feel like she has done so much from a social standpoint for um, women singers, or musicians in general. I mean, I feel like she kind of paved the way for a lot of us, and kind of started a movement. I don't know. She's just incredible. So love her. I also love like David Bowie. I love Bikini Kill, Kathleen Hanna. Um, so yeah, I mean, I have so many favorite bands, but that's just a few that inspires me as an individual.
I like
And it's interesting because every member of Moonstone has we all have really vast tastes in music. Like I feel
yeah.
like mine is mainly like alternative rock. I know Charisse, like she listens to like classical, jazz, alternative, rap, like everything. Lucas is the same. Like he's primarily like rock, metal, but he also listens to like indie. Like we all pretty much listen to everything.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's really cool that we can all pull, from our influences and that they are so vast that we have so many things to pull from. Um, yeah, and then as a band, we love the band Pale Waves. Like we love their indie
Yeah.
sound. They're really cool, so we take a lot of influences from them. Um, obviously, Paramore, I already said that, but as a band, I think we pull from them. There are so many female fronted bands that inspire us as a whole, as a band.
Yeah.
There's this really awesome band. I think they're from New York, but they're called Scarlet D'Amour.
Yeah.
And I love their mix of like hard rock and indie and kind of pop elements as well. They're amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeahs. That's another big
Yep.
influence for Moonstone, of course.
I can
Um,
hear that.
yeah, yeah. I already said Pale Waves. I'm trying to think. Two Door Cinema Club, like a lot of their guitar leads, we'll be listening to them and we're like, that's cool. We want that like indie, almost
Yeah.
surfy feel.
A very
Um,
vibey type
yeah,
of.
very vibey, very ambient. Another band that I don't know if we've ever specifically said that they inspire us, but Circa Survive and their like the ambient elements that they have in their music, I feel like I'm always listening for that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to recreate that, but make it kind
R.I.P.
of more pop. I know, R.I.P.
He recently confirmed
I
it's a
know,
full on breakup, and
I
I hate
know.
it.
I love everything he touches turns to gold, though. I love
Absolutely.
all of his projects. He's just amazing.
And I hear he's going on tour yet again,
He
doing like
is.
another acoustic tour or something like that. So,
Yeah. And they always sell out. I mean, he'll do these like tiny little rooms of like, 200 cap at most, and they just sell out. Like he's just so loved in every community.
oh yeah, and he knows how to market himself very well.
Yeah, he really does.
I need some of that marketing skills.
It's tough for
Wait,
sure.
okay. Well, let's move on a little bit. I like this question. This is a fun one. So, don't think of this in a bad way. Think of it as good. So, everybody's got guilty pleasures of music.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you're ashamed to listen to it,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's something that people are like, what? I had no clue you even thought about listening to that.
Okay.
So, let me hear a couple of those.
Ugh. Okay. So I always say that this is a guilty pleasure. I don't think people are surprised when they hear this. And maybe it's not a guilty pleasure. Maybe I shouldn't be. It's not that I'm ashamed, but I
No,
feel
no.
like, I don't know. I love Ariana Grande. I love
Okay.
her. I mean, she's an insane, insane vocalist, obviously. Um, she's just like otherworldly as far as like her vocal technique, and she can do anything. And I only say guilty pleasure because I feel like if I mention that to people, they're like, "Oh, like she can be a little bit controversial sometimes, like as a person." But like as a musician, she
Yeah, we're just
is
talking about music.
amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. Like she's so good.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I would say her.
Okay. You got any more? Or is that the only one you can think of at the moment?
I know
It's fine if you can't
I
think of
can't
any
think.
more.
Honestly, so I love Smashing Pumpkins, but sometimes when I bring up Billy Corgan, people are like, "No, keep that away from me," because he is,
He's a
he has
strange
been a
individual.
controversial person. He's a strange person for sure. But as an artist, he's phenomenal. He's amazing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I've got some just fun. These are like questions that relate to you and the band, but they're just fun. We're just gonna play them by ear. Some of them are rapid fire, some of them are definitely not.
Okay.
Um, just because I wrote rapid fire at the top doesn't mean that they are rapid fire at all. I found that out
Yeah, I
a
like to
lot
yap,
recently.
so
So, hardest song to play live. Let's start with that one
um
for you vocally.
probably probably Cycle. Our
Okay.
song Cycle, it's pretty up there. The notes are pretty high. And honestly, the more we play it, the more comfortable, because it's only been out since August
Yeah.
30th. So we've only had it, three times to play it. A chance to, yeah, two or three times.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've practiced it a lot, but in a live setting, I always hesitate a little bit, or I kind of psych myself out because I'm like, oh, here it comes, here's the big note. So yeah, that's probably the most difficult for me to sing live, but I do feel like it's getting better. I feel like every time we play it live, I don't know, practicing by ourselves is completely different from playing live because
Absolutely.
we can be practicing and I'm like, yeah, easy. No big deal. I'm not stressed. But when there's people watching you, especially a pretty large crowd, it is a little daunting to hit those higher notes. So,
Absolutely. Okay. Let's see what next. These are all we got some interesting ones here. What is a song that you wish you had written by any person?
yeah. Ugh.
I use Phil Collins in the air tonight because I feel like
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's an amazing song.
plus
Um,
it makes bank. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Um, I'm gonna say Heart of Glass from Blondie. I feel
That's a
like
good one.
that's an amazing song. Like it's fun, it's dancey, there's still kind of like this emotion and rawness to it and kind of like this nostalgia almost to it. Yeah, I love that song and I feel like it's timeless. Like you can listen to it at any point and it's just an awesome song.
Yeah. Well, it's time for you to out some of your bandmates with a couple of these questions.
Okay,
Who's always late?
Connor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what is the most used emoji in your band group chat?
Mm, probably either the black heart or the blue heart. We're always
Okay.
sending each other hearts.
Who would survive in a zombie apocalypse the longest and who would survive the shortest?
Mm, I think Lucas might last the longest.
Okay.
I don't know. He's pretty resourceful and very aware of his surroundings.
Yeah.
And I think I would last the shortest. I don't know. I'm small. I'm a small. That's another thing. Is Lucas is big. He's really tall and like kind of burly. So I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. Maybe he can last longer and like fight zombies off or whatever. I don't know. I think I would go pretty quickly. I'm like 5 foot nothing, 110 pounds on a good day. Like I feel like I'd get snatched up pretty quickly.
Oh, you're one of those like 110 pound soaking wet type of people.
Soaking wet, yeah, on a good day after I've had like Thanksgiving, that's 110. So
That's a lot of factors. You're right. Okay. Who's the most emotional person?
Honestly, we're all pretty emotional. I'm going to say either me or Ram. We're both
Okay.
pretty emotional. I would say Charisse is too, but I don't know. She's more like I
Reserved.
have seen her cry because we're good friends, but like she's not super outwardly emotional. Like I think Ram and I wear our hearts on our sleeves. But like we've all, probably except for Connor, I don't know if I've ever seen Connor cry, but we've all like cried in front of each other, especially after like a good show where we're just like hugging each other, crying, like I love you so much. We're all really emotional. And even if it's not like crying emotional, like we're none of us are afraid to like tell each other that we love each other, or when we're down, like open up to each other. So we're all pretty emotional, but I would say probably me or Ram.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Who is the one always tweaking the songs toward the end of
Lucas.
writing? Luke.
Lucas. I mean, he's the producer.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot.
So he like drives himself crazy. Like our next release, it's already been uploaded to Spotify, and we'll still go back and kind of listen to it. And he's like, this could have been fixed, and this could have, which is a good thing. I'm also a perfectionist, and
Yeah.
I think there are sometimes that benefits you because it is kind of pushing you to like be better. Sometimes it's excessive, but yeah, I mean, him being the producer, of course, he's like, I mean, he'll listen back to songs on our album and he's like, only I would have done, XYZ. And
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Okay. I'm trying to decide which one I want to do next. I'll just throw them out there. So, who has the weirdest pre-show habit?
Hmm.
And what is your pre-show habit or
Yeah, I don't
routine?
know that we really have a lot of pre-show habits. Like we stretch together. We used to always drink margaritas before our shows, but now we don't. Not all
Probably a
of
good
us.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's never crazy excessive before the show. Usually, most of the excessive drinking is after if we do
Of course.
drink. But yeah, so it used to be margaritas, but our favorite margarita place in Deep Ellum closed. So yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know, stretching. I drink a lot of tea. Sometimes I'll even like drink tea with like a little whiskey or tequila or something just to open up my voice and keep me loose. But
Yeah.
yeah, we don't have anything like super crazy weird. I don't know. Just stretching, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of tequila.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some here's some fun music-based questions. Hmm. Clean vocals or stacked harmonies?
It depends on the song. I don't know. I always gravitate towards clean vocals.
Okay.
And it's funny because Lucas will always stack harmonies. And I'm
Yeah.
like, at first, when I first hear it, it throws me off. And I'm like, I just want one single, vocal down the middle. But then the more I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that part needs stacked harmonies. So I don't know. I'm a sucker for both. When it comes to actually listening to music, if I hear a good stacked harmony, like I get chills, I get
Oh yeah.
goosebumps. Um, but yeah, I love just a clean, solid vocal right down the middle, when it comes to my own vocals. But yeah, like I said, I mean, there are plenty of songs where I'm like, yeah, that needs a harmony.
Yeah. Okay. Major key or minor key?
I think most of our songs are in major keys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because like if I'm playing a piece on piano, I always gravitate towards minor keys.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we have this kind of contrast of like happier instrumentals and maybe like sad lyrics.
Like
So I think,
REM.
yeah, like REM. Yeah, exactly. So I think maybe that goes into that having, it being in a major key. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Sad banger or happy song you can cry to?
sad banger. I love a good, just gut-wrenching song. Like I love it.
I like it. Okay. Let's see. Now these are less this or that questions, but these are more fun ones. If your music were a movie, what genre would it be?
Oh man.
Horror. No, I'm just
Um,
kidding.
yeah, right? I don't know. I think like a weird, not
Like an
obscure, but
indie drama.
like an indie, yeah, like an indie drama or like an indie rom-com, like like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Yeah.
Mind or like something like that. That's what I'm imagining is like, or even like a Juno. I don't
Yeah.
know, like kind of more of an indie vibe.
Yeah. What is the weirdest compliment you've gotten about the sound of your band?
Hmm, the weirdest compliment. Someone recently commented on one of our posts on Instagram and they said, "Oh, this is like Dance Gavin Dance with a female vocalist." And I was like, I mean, they're a really cool band,
I
but
love
that threw me
DGD.
off. What was that?
I said I love DGD, so that
Yeah, yeah. No, they're a great band. That threw me off because I have never ever heard that ever. And I don't really see the comparison, but I thought that was funny and that was kind of a unique comparison because it's all almost always like, oh, Avril Lavigne or
yeah.
Paramore or whatever. So yeah, that
Everybody
was kind
always
of
goes for the Avril Lavigne. Be
yeah,
original.
yeah, I know. Well, that was original. So not necessarily weird, but just like, whoa, I've never gotten
Yeah.
that before. But cool.
Okay. Um, Funniest interaction with a fan.
Funniest. Oh man. I don't know. We've had some really funny ones where people are just like, like really, really excited, which is so weird. Like, not weird in a
Well,
bad
they're
way,
like
but just
all the
like,
interactions are weird because they like us. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, no, it literally, like, I'm like, that's crazy that, you guys are so excited. I mean, it's awesome, but just nothing, I never imagined being in that position ever. Um, Not really a funny one, but something that was really, really cool is we were playing a line of events called Pop Punk Night with some of our friends in a band called Van Full of Nuns,
Yeah.
and we were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at Kane's Ballroom a few months back, and they asked us if we could play a couple of covers because that's their whole event is like pop
Yeah.
punk covers, emo covers. So of course we do Avril Lavigne, we do Paramore because that's what everyone knows. And for Misery Business, we brought someone up on stage, and there was this girl, and I could tell she was young. And so I was like, oh, who wants to come up on stage? And she's like, me, me, me. So I pick her and bring her up. And she just absolutely kills it. Like, I don't even have to be on the stage. So I end up like stage diving and crowd surfing. And I'm just like having a blast. And she's having a blast. Like, it was awesome. She gets back in the crowd with her parents and she just starts sobbing, like sobbing. And I had to hold it together because obviously she had just had like the time of her life. Like that was super cool for her and also for us because she was amazing.
Yeah.
But I had to hold it together for the rest of our set. And I got off the stage and I just broke down because it was just so cool, because I
Yeah.
remember being 13 and going to like, 13, 14, going to local shows and just being so like just idolizing these amazing musicians. And so it was weird but really cool to be on the other end of that. And of course, like we met her at our merch table afterwards and her parents, and we ended up like her parents reached out to us on Instagram and was like, you literally like made her life, like she'll never stop talking about this. And so that was super cool. So not weird, but really, really cool
Yeah,
experience.
absolutely. Okay. Well, I've got a couple more here. Let's do describe your band in 3 words.
Like as a whole, as our sound, or
Yeah,
as people? Okay.
however you want to put it. You make it your own little 3 words.
Okay. Um, Fun,
Okay. That's a good one. We like that.
um, emotional, and
A vibe.
genuine. I'll say that. Or raw, I guess.
I
Because
like it.
even though we have some, produced elements in our music with it being kind of pop leaning, there's still like this, very like emotive rawness to it. I feel like it is really emotional. And I think I love that contrast with any band. I think that's why I mentioned Blondie because they were like one of the OG bands to do this,
Yeah.
where music is super dancey. It's so much fun. Like just the vibes in general are really fun, but there's this like really artistic, emotional layer to it. And that kind of contrasts like the fun, the dancey, kind of like disco-y feel, and then bringing it together. I don't know. It just creates something really cool. So I feel like all of those describe us really well. Fun, emotional, raw.
I like it. Okay. What song should new listeners start with?
Um, I'm gonna say conversations. I feel
Okay.
like that's a really good introduction to our sound. I feel like we really, you know, I feel like that song is Moonstone. That is our sound. That is, that song consists of all of these elements that we've created, and I feel like it's mixed so perfectly in that song.
Okay. I would have to say Moonstone because that's the name of your band and
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to be as obvious as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So last one of our fun little questions here before we move on to the next part. If your band had a theme food, what would it be?
Team food.
Yeah.
Um, that's hard. I'm thinking like McDonald's meal,
Okay.
but like
Yeah.
how they have like the BTS meal or whatever. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
like the Moonstone meal.
Yeah, go for it. I want to hear the Moonstone.
I don't know. I feel
Probably not
like,
McDonald's.
yeah, not McDonald's. I don't know. I feel like we eat a lot of tacos. We eat a lot of pizza, like when we're all together. But like Sharice is an amazing cook. And then Lucas is a really good cook. So I don't know. They make a lot of like seafood, and we eat, as a band, we eat literally everything. Um, I'm gonna say I guess I'm gonna say tacos. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm blanking. I feel like tacos. Either that or like if only we could get like a meal from Waffle House. Like sometimes after our shows, we'll go to Waffle House, and
Yep.
some of us get like the all-star plate with like
Yep.
everything, like the pancake and the toast and the egg and bacon, whatever. So like if only we could have like a Moonstone collab with Waffle House for like a Moonstone all-star plate. I don't know.
That would be
Something
pretty
like that.
cool.
I
I like
agree.
that's a good one. Okay. Well, this is a fun one I like to do. It's called the Dream Festival. So I lovingly stole it from another podcast because they don't do it anymore. So it's mine now.
Okay.
I'll walk you through it, but the idea is it's your dream festival and Moonstone is playing. You can have anybody, it can be anywhere. The only rule for if they're dead
Mhm.
is you have to come up with a creative way that they came back to life. I don't
Oh
want
my
just
goodness.
I don't want just yeah, they're alive again. No, it's got to be
Yeah.
interesting. It's got to be preferably funny. But
Okay. Hmm.
we'll start it off. I'll walk you through it. Where is it going to be? That's what we want to know first.
I mean, my first instinct is to say Austin City Limits just because that would be truly full circle. Like that's kind of where we started or how we started, and then like to end up at Austin City Limits. So that's
No, this
that's
is
my first
better than
instinct.
that.
That's what I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, we'll do it there. Now, we have to talk about the accommodations.
Mhm.
Where are the bands? Where are you guys going to be staying? Is it going to be are we going to do five-star hotel? Are we going to glamp it? Are we going to go hang out with the homeless people and, bum it on the streets with them? What are we doing?
Uh, I don't know. We've had a mix of all of it, I feel like, in our small, short time touring and stuff.
But this is
Um,
your dream. Pick what you want
uh,
or what will be the funniest. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think we have had really, really good experiences renting Airbnbs, and we have
Okay.
literally so much fun when we have a big house to ourselves. Like that has been the most fun. We've had a couple times where we've had like actually pretty nice hotels too. Like when we went to Tulsa, we had a pretty good hotel, and that's fun. But it's I don't know. There's like this sleepover element where you
Yeah.
guys are everyone's like maybe not sharing rooms, but like you guys all wake up at the same time and then you go into the community kitchen and like make food, or
Yeah.
after a show, you go into the kitchen and drink or play games or whatever. So I think we would rent a really nice Airbnb. Yeah.
I like it. Now, of course, I always say this, musicians aren't really musicians. They're just people who use music as an excuse to go get food. So,
Yeah.
what is the catering going to be like for this festival?
Most of us, well, I would say all of us like seafood. We all really
Okay.
like sushi. So maybe sushi.
Okay.
Um, Tacos. Again, we love
Yeah.
tacos. Um, Yeah, none of us are picky. Like
Okay.
when I say we'll eat anything, we'll literally eat anything. Like a lot of us like oysters,
Okay.
seafood, sushi, tacos, Mexican food, Chinese food, like literally anything. Put something in front of us and we'll eat it.
Just food. I like it. Well, before we get into who is going to play at this festival, we got to place you guys. We got to place Moonstone somewhere on this festival day. Are we
Mhm.
gonna do it like you gonna open? You gonna headline? You gonna be somewhere in the middle? You can be as specific or non-specific as you want. You could say the afternoon, or you could say 12:39 p.m. right on the
Okay.
dot.
Okay. So obviously I want to say headline because like I feel like I mean to say like I headlined ACL. It's
Well,
like
then say it.
what? But I will say, when we went to ACL in 2022, some of the best artists we saw were actually a little bit earlier. Not like the headlining slot, but maybe
Yeah.
a slot or two before the headliner. Um, so I don't know, anywhere between that or headlining. But
Okay.
obviously, I would love to say we headlined ACL. Like that would be a dream come true.
Okay. I like it. So, give me a couple. We're gonna do this in kind of into three different parts. Give me like headliner status bands. Give me like not headliner, but like to mid level. And then give me some smaller bands, maybe some local bands in your area you like.
Okay.
Just throw them down. So give me a couple of each.
Well, first off, I think multi-genre. Like there needs to be metal bands, pop bands, alternative bands, freaking jazz bands, like literally
I do love
anything.
a good jazz band.
Yeah, rap, hip hop, like anything. Um, so headliners, one of my favorite rappers right now is Doechii. I love her
Okay.
so much. I love her. Um, so that would be a good headliner. If we could get someone like, I don't know, I would. I would love to play with like someone. Okay, let's say My Chemical Romance. That
Okay.
would be insane. That would be a crazy headliner. And let's throw in like a pop girly, like a Chapel Roan or
Okay.
like a Sabrina Carpenter or an Ariana Grande or something. I think that would be a cool,
Yeah.
diverse. That's my music taste in a nutshell, I feel like. Um,
I like it.
and then smaller artists, we're talking about Anthony Green and
Yeah.
both Anthony Green and Mike Kim, because Frankie Arrow is also in the band. So like Ellis Dunes would be super cool
That would
for
be
like
cool.
more of the mid-level bands.
He owes me $5. I'm just
Who?
kidding. I
Oh, I
was
was
gonna
like,
say Frankie Arrow.
oh my gosh. Um, yeah, so LS Dunes would be super cool. I love Viagra Boys. Oh my God, I
Okay.
almost forgot. Amyl and the Sniffers, they would probably have to be a headliner or at least like one under the headliner. They are amazing. Turnstile, we saw both
Yep.
Amyl and Turnstile, and that was a phenomenal show. Both of their sets were so good. So Turnstile would have to be up there, I feel like. We all love them. Um, there's actually this record right here, if you can see, that's hanging
Yeah.
up right here. Um, Lucas and Connor really love that band. They're called Igor. They're like a kind
Yep.
of
I know
obscure,
exactly what you're
yeah.
talking about.
That would be a super cool addition. I feel like that would bring, a lot of diversity to
It
the
would bring
bill.
something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love them. They're so
That would,
ridiculous.
yeah. No, I love to watch sets that are entertaining as far as like, just their stage presence and props and stuff like that. I feel like that would be really entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah.
Um, oh man, and then there's so many like local artists on a smaller level that would be amazing.
Just
There's a
throw out a
band,
few.
yeah, there's a band from here, Texas, called the Vandaliers, and they are more like a country rock band. They're super, super awesome. Um, oh my gosh, our friends in Set Adrift. We would love Set Adrift.
They
They're
were on the podcast not too long
no
ago.
way. Yeah, we
Yeah.
love them.
Taylor's a
So
homie.
Taylor, so that's how
Yeah.
we met our bassist, actually. So
Oh,
we
that's sick.
are forever in debt to Taylor. So
Love
yeah,
this guy.
they would be awesome. Um, one of my friends, Alexis, she fronts a band called With Hope Intact. They're also a hardcore metal band. They're super, super awesome. There's a lot of metal here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm aware.
yeah, which is awesome. I love it.
Hunt the Dinosaur for one.
Yeah,
Sorrow Eater.
yep, yeah.
Love those guys.
So I don't know. I feel like already that's kind of a diverse
Yeah,
bill. We have a little country, pop, rock, metal. Yeah.
I like it. That's a good bill. Okay. Well, I like this festival. We didn't have to bring anybody back from the dead, which is nice. Let the dead lay where they lie.
Yeah. Yes, RIP.
So we've got just a couple more questions. Of course, we have to talk any new shows, any new music that you can talk about.
Yeah. Um, so we are releasing a new single January 9th. It's
Ooh.
called Blue. We're really excited for that song. I've mentioned our song Conversations a few times. So I think this song is kind of like Conversations' brother
Okay.
or
It's
sibling.
a companion piece, if you will.
Yes, it's a companion piece. And so I think we kind of again took all of these previous elements that we use and kind of, blended it to make this song. So yeah, very similar to Conversations. I love this song and I'm really, really excited to release it. We're actually filming a potential music video tomorrow for it. So that's really
Ooh.
exciting. Yeah. Shows. Yeah, so we are actually not playing any shows until February, which feels weird, like that we haven't played. I mean, the last show we played was November.
Yeah.
And so yeah, our next shows are in February, and this is like the longest we've gone without playing, and it's kind of driving me crazy. But we're playing with a fantastic artist called M. She's kind of a dark pop electronic artist. And I don't know, it'll be our first time playing with someone that's in the more like mainstream pop realm. You know,
Yeah.
we've played with a lot of pop punk artists,
The used is very that is like the
Yeah,
definition of pop punk right there.
definitely. Yeah. So we've played in that community and that scene, and it's amazing. You know, that's where we all grew up,
Yeah,
so
of course.
we love it. But I do think because we are more pop leaning, I don't know, it'll just be really cool to try to, to play in front of different types of people.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm super excited for that. So we're playing with her on her Dallas date, her Austin date, and her Houston date.
Nice.
I'm super excited for the Dallas date because they actually just added a performer that goes by Briar Rose, and she's a drag queen. She's like my favorite drag queen in the area.
That's
So I
awesome.
don't know, that just really elevated the whole bill as well.
Yeah.
We have a really diverse fan base, and so I don't know. I feel like even though it is more of a pop bill versus some of the other stuff that we've done in the past, I feel like everyone's going to feel like our fans will feel right at home at these shows. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear about all these new things coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, we've got two more left for you. This one is your plugs and shout outs. This is your time to plug in all the stuff for the bands, for you, whatever, and shout out all the people you want to
Cool.
that you can remember. If you
All
can't
right.
remember some people, don't hold her at fault. Don't hold
No,
anybody
please.
who forgets that because sometimes I forget what I ate for breakfast in the morning. So
Yeah,
you definitely
definitely.
can't fault me for that.
So our Instagram is at moonstone.tx. That's across all platforms. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, literally anything. If you go to
Not you.
our Yeah, yeah. If you go to our Instagram, our link tree is actually there. So you can follow us on literally everything or listen to us on whatever platform you use, because I know not everyone uses Spotify or even Apple Music for that matter. But we're at moonstone.tx. I'm on Instagram at moonstone.gracie. Shout out to my band. Like I love them. I love them as like not even just as artists and as musicians, but as individuals. I'm so grateful to be in a band where I'm really good friends with all of them. I have been in bands where, I'm just not as close with some of the other members, and it really does change things. It really affects the chemistry of the band. We all have this incredible chemistry that I feel like it really shows on stage. It shows in our writing. It shows when we're recording. And conflict is will always be there, but I'm really grateful that we have all been able to, you know, face, or I guess deal with these situations where there is conflict in a band, and we've been able to overcome it and work through it, like real friends do, right? Where
Yeah.
we can communicate. And yeah, so they're just amazing people. Shout out my band. I love them. Um, oh my gosh, shout out my family. My family's always been really supportive of me, and Lucas's family as well. I mean, everyone, has just been so incredibly supportive since day one. And not even just family. I mean, like our fans, like all of our followers on social media. It's been crazy. Like I wasn't sure what to expect going into this, but it definitely wasn't, almost 30K followers. And
Yeah.
I just the initial reaction to us launching our project was just crazy. People were so excited from day one. From our first song, people were just excited, and all of our shows. I mean, we have some fans that have been to almost every single show, and we've played a lot of shows the past few years, couple of years. So I mean, that's insane to me. And so shout out, our fans. We have a Discord server full of like our really, really, hardcore fans and friends that, again, they have just like showed us so much support and have bought every piece of merch and our vinyl and pre-saved songs and have been to every show. And that's just like, thinking about it almost makes me overwhelmed with just emotion. I'm very emotional about it. So shout out our fans and our friends and our family. Shout out to Set Adrift. Thank you, Taylor, for introducing us to Charisse, because we love her very much. And shout out to everyone in the Dallas community, like in the Dallas music scene. I mean, I think a lot of us are out here kind of doing what we're doing, the whole DIY thing. Us artists, like, we don't really get paid that much, if anything. And so it's really hard to really establish yourself and be noticed by labels and management companies. And so sometimes our only option is to do it ourselves. And I think so many, or the majority of the Dallas community, the Dallas music scene, I mean, they have been really successful at what they do without all of that. And so shout out to all of you guys. There's some really fantastic artistic musicians and creatives in the Dallas area.
Yeah, I like it. Those are good plugs, good shout outs. You gave very detailed, which I appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we only have one question to end out the episode with. And
Cool.
that is I have a feeling I know what it's going to be, but I'll ask anyways. What song of Moonstone do you want to have as the outro song for the episode?
I feel like I have to pick something different from what I've
Because I
mentioned.
just said that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to either say Moonstone, which is our